Has President Donald Trump begun laying the groundwork to challenge or to derail the November election? That question is once again at the center of American politics. And it comes after Donald Trump gave a primetime address from the White House. The American president has alleged that China interfered in the 2020 presidential election. It is worth noting that Trump lost that presidential election to Joe Biden. And since then, he has repeatedly and falsely claimed that the election was stolen from him, despite there being very little evidence of voter fraud. During the speech, Trump claimed that voter data from 18 states had been bought or stolen or hacked by China, and he also alleged that people who uncovered the breach had failed to alert the government or the Congress.
Unfortunately, the system we have today falls catastrophically short of that standard. Tonight, I'm announcing the immediate declassification and release of critical intelligence revealing shocking vulnerabilities in our election infrastructure. This evidence shows that the election system we have dangerously exposes like levels never thought possible to hacking, exploitation, and foreign interference.
Now, in his remarks, Trump also went on to accuse Beijing of the illicit acquisition of the 220 million voter files containing personal information. He also claimed that members of the U.S. intelligence community have deliberately kept the full extent of China's activities under wraps.
The strategy included efforts to use Chinese contacts with big U.S. companies to influence U.S. business leaders to turn against the President of the United States of America. The Chinese government wanted U.S. President to lose the next election.
In response to a speech, Beijing, in fact, pushed back almost immediately. China's foreign ministry dismissed Trump's allegations as entirely fabricated.
The relevant claims made by the U.S. side are pure fabrications and malicious smears that have long since been proven to be groundless statements.
Now, during the speech, Trump also returned to a domestic touchstone, the roll call of who can and should vote. He told the viewers that his team had found more than 275,000 registrations tied to non-citizens across 4 states. However, he did not clarify as to how many of these registrations had led to ballots that were cast. Now, building on these claims, Trump again has urged the Republican lawmakers to advance the Save America Act. The proposed legislation will require the voters to present photo identification, provide proof of U.S. citizenship when registering, and placing tighter restrictions on mail-in voting. The bill has passed the Republican-led House several times. However, its future in the Senate remains uncertain. It will need 60 votes to overcome a filibuster, a threshold it is unlikely to reach given the current political divide. But as the popularity ratings of Trump continue to decline inside the Republican circle, some leaders have urged the president to address bread and butter issues that matter to more voters rather than revisit the events of 2020. The speech also has drawn attention from conservative voices and political commentators. Tucker Carlson, a long-time Trump supporter during the 2024 campaign, warned that growing frustration with political leaders could in fact lead to a wider public backlash. Now, Carlson further argued that many Americans feel ignored by those in power. He said that this anger is not limited to one political party and reflects a deeper frustration shaping the current political climate. And we earlier spoke with Mr. Greg Swenson, who's a political strategist and China analyst, and listening to what he had to say.
Well, my guess is the president has access to documents that those people did not have access to at the time. And remember, part of the argument is that the intelligence agencies were trying to hide that evidence. And so, of course, we didn't know about it in 2021. And then it doesn't surprise me that things are coming out now that reflect not only the interference, but more importantly the cover-up. Remember, there's some important context here, and this is why I'm waiting to see the documentation. And it wouldn't surprise me if there was a massive cover-up, because remember, the CIA and the FBI were involved in both the Russia collusion hoax in 2015 and 16, or 16 and 17, which was initiated by the Hillary Clinton campaign and then supported by the Obama White House in an effort to really ruin President Trump's first term. And then secondly, you had the Hunter Biden laptop scam in 2020, which was election interference.